My name is Parry. I'm a fashion designer. My company is based on my passion for business design, as well as social and environmental responsibility.
Today, A&E Thread is talking with fashion designer Carrie Parry about fashion and designing with sustainability in mind. Thank you so much, Carrie, for being here. Let's get started. What initially sparked your interest in fashion?
I've really always been fascinated by the way that people use clothes as a means to express themselves, and I started taking classes in fashion and art at a very young age and just really took every opportunity I could to immerse myself in the industry.
What experiences led up to your start in the fashion industry?
I actually started working in retail in high school and taking summer classes at different colleges. I had my first fashion internship when I was about 18. I then went on to study at Central St. Martin's, University of the Arts in London, where I did my BA in fashion design and marketing. And while I was there, I did different internships and just gained the work experience in kind of fashion, costumes, and textiles. So I've been very fortunate throughout the years to work with some really incredible and talented people, and I've really learned and grown from those different experiences.
Have any of these experiences helped to inspire you to design with eco-friendly ideas in mind?
I'd say that my work in the fashion industry really opened my eyes to the environmental and social impact that the fashion industry has, and really motivated me to create a line founded on those passions, really integrating fashion and social responsibility. I really learned that we all have the opportunity to positively affect workers and the environment throughout the world. And I started working at a nonprofit in environmentally conscious textile research and started taking a graduate course at the University of Delaware in socially responsible and sustainable apparel business. And the program and those experiences really helped to guide me in terms of how to kind of constantly improve on social responsibility within my company.
What do you personally believe makes a quality piece of clothing?
Garments that are considered timeless and have quality workmanship. I think pieces that really empower and bring confidence to wear and are often made under socially and environmentally responsible conditions.
Now, obviously, you're extremely passionate about designing with sustainability in mind. What is your definition of sustainable fashion?
I prefer to use the term social responsibility as an umbrella term for environmental and social responsibility. So to me, it really encompasses labor standards, working conditions, everyday business activities, decreasing waste, our carbon footprint, the environmental impact of fiber harvesting, the dyeing and finishing process, and the social impact of fabrics and processes through the care and disposal of garments. So anything, really all the processes and practices which work towards sustaining biodiversity. Sustainability, to me, is really a process that we're continually striving towards.
So it's definitely more to you than just what fabrics you decide to use, the materials. It's everything that goes into creating something.
Definitely. It's both the ethical and the environmental side.
Now, sustainable fashion is definitely a niche market that's starting to expand. I mean, I see designers all the time now that's what they want to really put across in their labels, that they're being environmentally friendly with the clothing that they design. Do you think that it will become more mainstream as time goes on?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I really think that sustainable fashion is already gaining a lot of momentum. We've come a really far way, and a lot of the bigger companies are starting to really contribute to the movement with new tools and education, like the Nike Design Tool, the Sustainable Apparel Coalition. And I think that, these tools are really going to help bring awareness and kind of cooperation between different brands, and hopefully also start educating other stakeholders. And I think we're really beginning to see the opportunity that corporate social responsibility has as we kind of continue to, learn from our mistakes and challenges and see kind of what positive impacts we've already had.
Does being an eco-friendly designer bring any design limitations to fashion? Anything that you've experienced?
Definitely. I think it's getting better, but sourcing material is definitely one of the limitations. I guess not having as much access to many fabrics can be limiting, but it is more rewarding to source socially and environmentally responsible fabrics and trends. So though there's a limitation, we also get a lot more reward from it. I think another challenge and kind of limitation for smaller designers is that we don't have that much leverage with our suppliers. So in order to implement the social responsibility goals that we have, such as finding out more information from the suppliers about the supply chain, it can be difficult. Oftentimes I ask the supplier, a lot of questions about where the fiber was grown and all these things, and they're shocked that I'm asking, and I think that they're just not used to people caring about it. But now there's companies like Source for Style, which is kind of an online database where you can source fabrics from that are all socially or environmentally responsible. So it's kind of encouraging more designers to begin using these fabrics and making it easier for the ones that already have been using them for a while.
What are your favorite fabrics to work with and why?
I'd say that my favorite fabric right now is Member Cupro. It's a pure cellulosic fiber. It's reborn from the clincher of the cotton plant, and it's fully biodegradable, and it's a natural renewable resource. The Cupro that I source is fiber to finish from Japan, and it's vibrant as a free dye. It's a really breathable fabric. It kind of looks like silk, and it's really, really soft. And it's machine washable, so it's a great fabric in my book.
When designing and selecting materials, do you take into consideration the end of your product's life cycle and how it's going to impact the environment when it's time to be disposed of?
Yes, definitely. I'd say that the consumer care and end of life phase is sometimes the most harmful in the product's life cycle. So as my company grows, I really hope to be able to implement a take-back program for our clothes. But currently, we're working on really integrating education and how to care for garments into our website. And on our care label, we advise consumers to reuse, remake, and recycle responsibly. Always encouraging eco dry cleaning when possible, and washing in cold water and line drying.
We kind of talked about this a little bit before, the kind of challenges that you face while looking for eco-friendly materials. In terms of the search process of finding those, is there anything else you'd like to elaborate on?
Yeah, I think social responsibility just in general is often perceived as kind of black and white, and it's really not the case. It's really complicated, in fact. So I think sometimes it's hard, especially for me. I want the choice in terms of the fabric I choose to be kind of perfect one, the one that solves all the problems. But there's always some downside or something that can be improved on. For example, I sourced my wool from a woman-owned cooperative in India. It's all hand-spun, hand-woven, and really supports the livelihoods of these women, but it's not organic wool. So it's just always a choice and just taking one step at a time.
Amy Thread produces a thread that's longer lasting, more durable, and hopes that garments will last longer and that there won't be as much waste in terms of throwing things out. Is this something that you consider while you're designing your clothing?
Yes, definitely. I think the current concept of racing to the bottom, to cut costs in the industry right now needs to really be switched to almost like a racing to the top as a competitive advantage, as it were. Creating really considered durable products that have been crafted with some integrity. So I think that the thread that A&E produces is definitely very important, and it's almost like the cradle to cradle provider of goods and services that generate value. It's really inspiring.
Do you have anything that you personally like to do with older clothes to give them a second life?
For me, I think it's really all about styling and kind of just purchasing garments that I feel are timeless and not really trend-driven. But with that said, I'm a big fan of swapping parties and kind of over-dyeing.
Is there anything special that you do in your daily life to help protect the environment?
Yeah, I mean, of course, recycling, supporting local businesses, and I really think about my purchases and buy for quality and kind of durability. And obviously, natural organic cleaning and skin products. We grow herbs on the balcony, and I think I probably lecture my friends and family a bit too often.
So what kind of things do people need to look out for when they're buying with sustainability in mind?
I think it's the most important, to look out for quality and design that can kind of pass through the seasons, the trends, and garments, you can wash in cold water and hang dry as possible. Ironing less is always good. Dry cleaning responsibly. And also, I really say just buy products that you love and don't be afraid to ask questions of where they've come from.
So it's definitely more about purchasing something that you're going to take care of and plan to use for years and years, not something that you could just throw away.
Exactly, because it takes the same amount of resources to make, a shirt that you're going to have for a week as it does to make one that you're going to have for 10 years. So you might as well make sure you're getting the one that you're going to have for a long time.
All right, we've got one more question for you. If you could design a wardrobe for anyone in the world, who would it be?
I love Parry. So if I could go back in time, I would love to be able to dress her. I just love her kind of tomboyish sexiness and her tailored classic look.
We appreciate you spending some time with us today to talk about sustainable fashion. This has been an A&E exclusive designer interview with fashion designer Carrie Parry.